Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Amethyst Room Witch, and today I'm going to show you all how I did a cleansing bath herb blend. So I haven't put it in my spell book yet. That's to be added to my to-do list. I will do it. I will add it. I just forgot. But this is all about cleansing. Now, when most people talk about cleansing, someone will always mention sage. Now, I don't always like to use sage. I prefer, if I'm going to use incense, I prefer to use dragon's blood. Sorry. Just because it's both cleansing, but it's protecting as well. So it cleanses the energy and then protects that cleansing. So I love dragon's blood, but I don't feel it can necessarily be used in a bath. So I had to get creative. Something that helped me with that creativity was organising all my herbs. So the 4 that I used in this cleansing bath blend, which I should also note can be used for a shower. So it's not just a bath only thing, it's a shower thing as well. But the 4 herbs that I used for this are clearly labelled and they're in jars and I know where they are. I've been going through and labelling all of the herbs, so every new herb that I get from Witch Casket in their spell kits, I will give it its own jar and label that jar. And now what I've been a project that has taken me a few weeks to do is I have a couple of notebooks that look like this, but they've got herbs all over them. So just to name a few, there's lavender, lemon balm is not one that I used, hazelnut, there's sage, chamomile, coriander, there's lots of herbs, and there's the same ones on the reverse. But I've gone through and I have added every single herb. Every herb has its own page. So it has the planetary associations, any deities and crystals, if I can find any that are listed online anywhere. I've done it in pencil so that I can add to it, you know, if I don't feel like, as an example, sunflower petals are to do with fertility, as an example, then I can always remove it and it's not going to look horrendously messy. But yeah, and I've got 2 of these and that's as much as I have used. So that's all I've used. I've barely used half of this notebook. So I've got plenty of space still to go, but it was through using this and doing all the research before to fill this notebook that allowed me to put together my own little blend, which it made me feel really, really magical. And originally I didn't know how many herbs I was going to use. I think I was originally thinking of maybe 2 and I ended up with 4. So, you know, it is what it is. It's fine. So the 4 that I used, just got to reach for them. I will grab these as well. So before I show you the herbs, actually, I will explain how this isn't just a bath blend, that you can use it for a shower, for having a shower. So online you can get these fill your own tea bags. So they're usually a sort of soft paper, thin, very thin paper, with a string tie, and then all you'd need to do is fill it up, pull the string and tie it off, and there you've got your own tea. But at the same time you can also use it for a bath, or you can use that same string and, you know, tie it closed, but then if you knot the other end you could loop it over a shower head, for an example. So that's something that can be done. So let's have a look at the herbs. I may have to, they're all for cleansing. That's what cleansing, purification sorts of energies. So I grabbed 4. I went through all of my herbs and I smelt them because I wanted there to be a sort of clean, cleansing smell. So first one is hyssop, dried hyssop. It's quite a lot of it, but because of the, because of the lemon, this isn't lemon, this isn't the lemony one. It smells a bit on the clean side. So all I did was 1 scoop into here, or even, I think it might have been half a scoop actually. It's half a scoop, because you don't want to use too much and then not, you know, run out too quickly. So I used half a scoop. I'll put together a bag of the blend just to show, and then I can use it for the next time, the next bath I have. So doesn't need to be much. That was just under half, so it might have been a full scoop actually. However much, literally it doesn't have to be a scoop, that's just what I've used. You know, you can use a teaspoon if you don't have one of these, which is actually from a witch casket from earlier in 2023. So if you don't have one of these, you can use a teaspoon. So there is that. So that's the dried hyssop. And next I'm going to go for, where's the little jar? So I'm going to put a sticker on this just to make it easier to read what it is, but it's flat cedar. So it's just cedar leaves, cedar needles, and of course cedar is very, very similar to pine, so it does have that sort of cleaning, you know, fresh smell to it, almost lemony, but it's not quite. And again, it's not too much of this because the smell, it's very, very easy to smell. So I only used half a scoop of that. So half a scoop of flax cedar, and here we go. So next I used some red clover. So it does, again, I've just written it on top. It's a white lid. I don't need it's easier to see the lid than it is the body of the jar. So, and it is, there's full clover buds in here. So there's a clover bud. So apologies for the noises, the metal on glass. So I haven't even filled it halfway. I haven't, stuffed it, because it's very much like when you want to brew a cup of tea, you don't want the herb to be you don't want them to be too compact. You want them to be able to float in the water and infuse the water with its energy. So that was red clover, and last but not least is lemon verbena. Now I don't need my scoop for this, because this is very much whole leaves. So all I did was I picked out, I think it was 2 or 3, possibly even 4, but a few leaves. And this is the, it's very much similar to hyssop, but there's a lemony hint to it. I might have broken these up just because they were so big, like they are quite big, and to fit in that and be tied up, it's asking for a fair amount in the way of these leaves. Three will do. So I've only put 3 in, but that's just because I didn't want to put any more than 3 in. But then held it shut, and I've just given it a bit of a shake just to mix all the herbs together, and then pull on the string, and there it is, tied. So now I'm just going to separate these 2 strings, or the 2 ends of the string, to tie a knot, and then this will just get plopped into the water as I'm running my bath. And then that's done its job. Oh, come on. Strings are always fiddly. There we go. Now I've actually separated them. It's far easier. So I've just done two knots, and then again, as I said before, you could tie a knot and hang it from a shower head, so that as the water flows through from the shower head, it goes through this. So that's an option as well. This I'll just plop in my bath. So that's something else to consider. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope to be back again soon with some more ideas of spell works. Now again, I've chosen 4, and I have like over 50 herbs in my little collection. It's those are just the 4 that I wanted to use, I felt pulled to using. So if you don't have any, or if you don't have all or any of these herbs, you can absolutely use others. You can use sage if you want to. You can use rosemary. Rosemary's good for that. Literally, it's up to you. So use this as an inspiration as to what you could use. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you again soon to make some more magic. Stay safe everyone. Blessings to all.